Today on GardenFork, a really cool recipe, butternut squash chili. Here we go. Kind of your classic chili. It starts with onion, carrot, some spices, and a secret ingredient, well, not so secret, but a little flavor enhancer at the end that I want to show you. Also, we're making cornbread to go along with the chili, and there'll be a companion video to this. There's a link in the show notes here for the maple syrup cornbread that I make, which people seem to like, so I think that's good. Here we go. Oven, hot, that goes in, works very well. Carrots, must have carrots. They're just kind of like what starts the flavor of all sorts of stuff, right? The size doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, GardenFork done is better than perfect. Save these for your biocomposter. Put these in your compost or in your biocomposter. I'm going to turn down the heat, but first, throw those in. I found it. So, while the onions and carrots are cooking down, it's going to, you know, be like 10 minutes or so. You want them to be not burnt. I like them kind of brown and clear. Now you're going to peel up this puppy. The best way to do this, I think, is one of these kind of carrot peelers. Alright? Take this, engage, peel like that. You want to go like that? Easy. It's just a big thing, you know? Don't feed this to your biocomposter. Put it in the regular compost. Okay? So slice off this end. Slice off this end. There we go. Scoop this out, ready to go. This comes out really easily. You can roast these squash seeds if you want. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. It's all good. You can eat all this stuff. I'm just going to put long cuts in here. And then cut it like this. 1/2 inch. I mean, those sizes will break down. That'd be nice. So now comes adding the chili powder, and I also like to put in cumin. Chili powder, it's kind of a roll of the dice because I've had different chili powders from different companies and they taste really different levels of spicy hot kind of thing. This one's kind of a medium one I have right here, so it's 3 tablespoons and then 1 tablespoon of cumin. I'm going to put these in here, and then I want the spices to get mixed up with the hot oil and what's called blooming, big word there. But it basically releases the aromatics of the spices, I think, before we're going to add in a lot of wet ingredients. All right? So I kind of scoot away an area in the middle here, and you see the oil kind of goes back in, and then I drop in my spices right into that hot oil. And then I move the spice powders into the oil, that hot oil. It's like 30 seconds of this just to mix the oil with the spice. Maybe I'm nuts, but I like to do this. And now I'm going to stir in 1 can of diced tomatoes. By the way, this recipe is based on one by Martha Rose Schulman in the New York Times. I really like her recipes, and I kind of did the Eric riff on this one. What she adds to this, and I really like, is a flavor booster called tomato paste. It comes in a tube just like toothpaste. But I just cooked 2 big blobs, basically 2 big tablespoons of this. And she calls for oregano, but I have an Italian seasoning mix that I buy in a big container, and I use this, let's just say, liberally in a lot of places when I cook. And it works for me. So if you have Italian seasoning mix or oregano or marjoram, just a big handful, like over a tablespoon. This, 2 big blobs of this in here. Oregano or Italian seasoning mix, and then paste. Squeeze it from the back here because I'm one of those people that has a big deal about how toothpaste should be used, but 2 big blobs like that. So after the tomato paste and the Italian seasoning goes in your cubed butternut squash. I mean, this is just Eric. Some of them are bigger than others. It's in the end, it's just going to be cooked down real nice, and it's going to add a sweetness to it. Plus, this is just a super healthy food. A lot of beta carotene. It's just a super healthy dinner. Carrots, tomatoes, and this will feed a bunch of people one night or a couple people for a whole week if you want. I have it for dinner, and then I'll have it for lunch for a couple days. Works for me. Hope it works for you. There you go. Next are some beans. You could cook your beans in a pressure cooker. We have videos about how to use your pressure cooker. Again, the links are below. Or you can go buy some beans. This can is too big. I bought too big of a can. I'm going to use half of this, which is about 24 to 28 ounces of beans. These are pinto. You could use kidney beans, white beans, cannellini, Great Northern. They're all going to have slightly different flavors. The like northern beans and cannellinis will be a little creamier. These will have a little bit more of a texture to them, but these work for me. So about a 24, yeah, this is 40. So like a 24 ounce can or half of a big can like this in there. It might not seem like there's a lot of liquid, but some liquid will come out of the squash and this will cook down nicely. So just kind of combined in our Dutch oven, cover, set on a low flame, keep an eye on it for about half hour, 40 minutes. While that's cooking down, I'm going to make the cornbread. There'll be a link to the cornbread video in the show notes here, and at the end of this video, there'll be a clickable link. Cornmeal from upstate New York, stone ground. I mean, I love the packaging, but I also have used this before and it works really well. I think there's something to be said for the stone ground versus the non-stone ground. Maybe it's just in my head, but you know, it's Eric. So, all right, watch the Labradors, that'll cook, and we'll make some cornbread. Forgot, secret ingredient, cocoa powder is, I don't know, I've just started to use it more often, and I was making chili like 6 months ago and I was like, I read about that, let's throw it in. And it's really neat. It can overpower the chili if you put too much in. So I'm gonna start with a half a cup. You can always add more at the end, but this just lets the flavor develop a little bit, and it's just this kind of back of the mouth, warm chocolatey part that comes over the spice of the chili powder and the sweetness of the squash. How does that sound for a foodie description? But it's really nice. So half a cup in here while this cooks. Okay, hold on. Quarter cup, not half. You can always dial it up. You can't dial it back. So when the squash is cooked, this is done. Not bad, huh? Cornbread, chili, it's cold outside. The cocoa, start at a quarter cup with the cocoa and then go up from there. You can add it at the end. Really, it's kind of eye of the beholder, and you know that's what GardenFork's all about, is use what you got. If you chop up the butternut squash a little smaller, it'll cook a little faster, but what's not to like about that? And a little bit of cornbread. And now my mouth is full, so I can't talk. All right, we put out shows like this every week. You want to subscribe? The link is below here. If you want to watch our cornbread video, there should be a button up here or in the show notes below. And how do you make chili? I want to hear about it. Comments below. Make it a great day. Go out and do cool stuff and come back and tell me. See you.